Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the Felix Drzynski of board game review shows. I never sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of communists, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Mission Red Planet from Fantasy Flight Games.
All the other scientists in the field keep on calling me insane. Well, they should have invented themselves some kind of shield, yeah. 'Cause in these jars I'm holding all the brains. Wow, 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 it's not easy being a genius. It's not easy being a super evil genius. Whoa, 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 you don't know how I feel. So you must be killed because you're not an evil genius like me. With the ladies, I'm not much of a Casanova. I never know quite what to say. But baby, don't start thinking this day is over, or I'll vaporize you with this here death ray.
In Mission Red Planet from Fantasy Flight Games, 2 to 6 players are going to attempt to score the most points on Mars. Essentially, they're sending astronauts to Mars, and there's all sorts of ways you can score points on Mars. Who knew? How the game works is essentially at the beginning of the game you set up this round board which represents Mars with various sections, various areas, regions on Mars. You also set down various resources face down. So there's a question mark, nobody knows what resources there are. There's 3 different kinds of resources. Some are worth a value of 1, some 2, and some 3 points. Now, what you're going to do is try to have kind of a majority control in the different regions of Mars and Phobos, its moon. What, no demos? I know, right? Anyway, so what you're going to try to do is, as I say, control the areas. Area control. The game starts out with every player receiving a couple of mission cards. They can decide which one they want, give the other one back. And these mission cards may have specific objectives. If you fulfill them, you're going to get certain point values at the end of the game or various other advantages. Now, the game also has, depending on the number of players, docks for spaceships. You're going to get spaceship cards and put them in the various docks that have destinations to the various sections or Phobos on them. And that's how you're going to get your astronauts to Mars, is by sending them on these spaceships. Now, here's what you do. There are 10 rounds in the game, but every player has only 9 cards that can be played once, sorta. You have 9 cards, and they're all identical. Everybody has the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards that have the same powers on it. But what you're going to do is you're going to select each round. You're going to select one of these cards, place it face down, and then you're going to do a countdown. You're going to do 9, 8, 7, 6. And as soon as the number hits a card that you've got, so if you say 9, 8, 7, oh, I've got a 7, whoever has the 7s play their card. You go through it, and whoever played that number of card, when their number hits, they reveal it, and they say what they want their card to be, what their action is going to be. So, for instance, the number 3 card lets you put 3 astronauts on any spaceship, but only if there's room for 3. If there's not room for 3, you essentially have lost your turn. You can't play anything. There's a saboteur that lets you put astronauts on there, and then you can destroy one. The pilot lets you change the destination after you've placed cards there. The spy actually lets you go ahead and place astronauts and then launch one that isn't ready to launch because they have to be full. All the spaceships have to be full to their capacity before they can launch. So once everybody's had a chance to play their card, all of the spaceships that have launched, you go ahead and you put those astronauts onto their respective areas on Mars or on Phobos. So as soon as people land on a specific region, they flip over that tile, they can see what the resource is. And there's different resource tokens, and there's different increments, there's different denominations, depending on which resource they've got. Now, there's also on the one of the cards, I believe it's the 7, is the scientist. He actually lets you draw from the discovery deck. Now, you can draw a card that is either a mission, which you can keep and hopefully fulfill that mission for more points, an action that will let you do something at some point in the game, or it's a discovery card. A discovery card, you can place that card anywhere around the surface of any of the areas that touch the sides. You put that card under there face down. Nobody can see it. One of the other cards allows people to see that card. In fact, I think it's the same card that lets you draw one. You can actually choose to see it if you want, but otherwise people aren't going to know. Is it a good thing under that section, or is it a bad thing under that section? You won't know until the very end of the game. Now, every few turns or so, and it kind of varies, you're going to have a production round. Now, during the production round, whoever has the majority of astronauts in a section, they will claim that resource. They'll claim that resource token. The first round, they just get 1. Second round, they're going to get 2. Third round, they're going to get 3 of that token. So this is your most basic way of gaining points, is having area control in specific regions when that hits. So you're going to go around and around. Each round, you're going to be sending astronauts to Mars. You're going to be playing nasty tricks on your friends with the various cards you're playing. And you're going to be trying to get area control to get those resources, particularly the more valuable ones. Now, at the end of the game, at the end of the 10th round, you're going to have, of course, a production round, but you're also going to have the discovery. We're going to flip over all the discovery cards, see if anybody's got anything from those. And you're also going to, when you do final scoring, whoever has the most ice, which is the number 1, which is the lowest scoring resource out there, they get a special card that gives them a bonus of 9 points. So when you add up all these factors together, whoever's ever got the most points at the end of the game wins Mission Red Planet. Now, I had never played Mission Red Planet before. This is the first time I played it, and this is the second edition. There had been an earlier edition, and I'd heard good things about it, but I had never played it. I played this game, and I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of the mechanics there. I kind of thought that the thing where you're playing the cards and doing the countdown, I thought that was a little cheesy, a little hokey, but it actually works. It's pretty tense when you're doing that, because some of the lower number cards are more powerful, assuming nobody else does anything with the earlier cards that's going to kind of trump you. So you can kind of take a risk with one of those lower cards, or you can do something maybe cool, but maybe not as cool, if you play kind of one of those higher number cards. That's a very interesting dynamic. It's a very tough choice you're going to have to make at some point in this game, which I really like that a lot as well. There's a lot of conflict over the areas. Everybody's trying to get most of their guys in there. You know, some of the cards let you move astronauts around, so you can try to move guys from one section of the board to the other. That's interesting too, as you're trying not just to send astronauts from the planet, but moving around astronauts you've got on Mars to try to consolidate over those planets, over those regions. And the discovery cards when they come out are cool. Just the various things you can do in the game to get the various different avenues to gain points is really a lot of fun. Phobos is interesting as well. Because it's so isolated. You can't move people to Phobos. You can move people from Phobos to Mars with a certain card, but you can't really move people to Phobos except through launching them through a spaceship. And so you get these kind of battles for Phobos raging, and that, too, is a lot of fun. The game, it feels very Euro-y, but surprisingly, it's got a pretty strong theme, all things considered. It's kind of a silly steampunk theme, but it works here, and it works very well. This is a game that I wasn't too sure I would like because it did look so Euro-y, but I was pleasantly surprised. I really, really enjoyed Mission Red Planet. This is a great game for, when you got a lot of people there and they want to play something fun that's fairly easy to learn and fairly quick. This is 90 minutes maximum. This is not a long game. And this is a game I think that just hits on all cylinders, fires on all thrusters, I think is a better metaphor there. I do like a good metaphor. So I really like this game. All of my friends that I played this game with, the various games we played, have all had fun. I haven't had anybody say they didn't like this game, which is odd because usually there's always the one person, no, I don't like it. Everybody really liked Mission Red Planet. A lot of fun from two great designers, Bruto Fedudi and Bruto Cathala, who have done some fantastic games in the past, Five Tribes, Shadows over Camelot. These guys have done a lot of good stuff working together and working independently. So this is a gem. I really, really like Mission Red Planet. The recommendation for the Discriminating Gamer is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and I gotta tell you, it really reminds me of sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh my, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the lawman, beating up the wrong guy. Wonder if he'll ever know. He's in the best-selling show. Is there life on Mars?
Somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Current player me chooses a character and moves him to sickbay. I'm gonna probably choose you because I'm pretty sure the silent one. So